Welcome back to the Own Your Eating podcast.
What episode are we on?
Feels like a million.
What day are we on? What month is it? Are we still in 2017?
I don't even know. I'm still writing 2016 on checks. Who writes checks anyway? I've used 2 checks this year.
If you live in the Cayman Islands, you write checks every day.
Why?
I don't know. They're so backward. It's like just very old school there.
They should have a line at grocery stores for people that pay via check.
Agreed. Do people still do that?
They should have a line at grocery stores based on age. If you're over 50, you have a certain line at the grocery store. Because those people, I know we have a lot of 50 plus.
We live in Florida, so.
But they take longer.
We experience that a lot.
They don't understand technology. And hey, if you're over 50 and you're listening to this, turn the volume down for a minute. But I think you just...
They might want to turn that up.
Like my mind... It's just like coupons and this and that. I don't know. I just don't know.
Talking about coupons, you love coupons.
I love getting them. I always forget to use them. Although I have 2 $1 coupons in my wallet right now for Perfect Food Bars.
I know. I'm excited.
Shout out to that new flavor that you bought me.
Peanut butter and chocolate chip. And
it was like salty.
I think I had some kind of coconut and peanut butter one, which was delicious.
I don't like coconut.
That's why I had it. But they got some great new flavors. They're so good.
Yeah, but it was like a coffee-colored package.
Yeah, it was like brownish.
Right.
Yeah.
Peanut butter is still the best.
Of course. Anything peanut butter is the best. Like peanut butter, chocolate chips.
I want to hear from people listening. What's your favorite Perfect Food Bar?
Yeah, that's a good question.
And if it's not peanut butter, it's wrong. Or if it is, no.
I like the cranberry crunch too.
That's the low carb one or whatever.
Well,
low calorie.
It's lower in macros. Yeah.
That's why you like it.
They have an acai one that's also similar. But yes, and actually that brings me to this next point. Why are there not more of the mini-sized Perfect Food Bars available?
You know, I can dig that because sometimes I want one just
that taste.
Right, a little satisfaction.
There's no way you're going to open a whole bar and just have half of it.
Well, no, I mean, unless you know you're going to eat the entire thing over the course of the day.
Even still.
Because I wouldn't measure it, but I might eat, okay, I'm going to have a couple bites now. No, I'll do things like that. That's a little trick if you're listening. Say I know I'm going to have a Perfect Food Bar by the end of the day, have a bite in the morning, a bite at lunch, but you know you're going to eat the whole thing.
I've never seen you take a bite.
I've never done that.
Of a Perfect Food Bar and put it back in the fridge.
No, but I'm saying that's the only way I would do it because I wouldn't measure half a Perfect Food Bar on the scale.
I get you. I think I have done that with one of those types of bars before. But anyway.
They should sponsor this podcast.
They should. But those mini-sized versions that you get on airplanes, I don't think I've ever...
Where do you get them on airplanes?
I was on an airplane once and they passed around a snack basket that had Perfect Food Bar minis in them.
You must have been flying first class.
I may actually have been upgraded.
Because there's no way that's coming through the...
I think I was on in an upgraded
us commoners flying.
I think I was flying American as well.
But you've flown a lot of international as well.
That wasn't international. That was a domestic. Anyway.
No way.
It was. It was crazy. I know.
I would go on a plane just because they have that versus another one. If United's like now offering.
They should advertise that in their ticket sales. Hey, these are the types of snacks you can expect on your trip.
You don't get a lot of snacks in general.
Not anymore.
Half the time I'm sleeping anyway.
Well, anyway.
If a stewardess wakes me for a snack, I'm angry.
Really?
Yeah, nothing trumps sleeping on a plane.
Agreed, but I can't sleep on
They're usually pretty good about it. But if you you want your snack? One time I was sleeping on a plane and the guy next to me woke me because the soda people were, they were doing it. And I was like, really? You just woke me for a Diet Coke? No. You could tell when someone hasn't flown much. Like that guy was all excited to be on the plane. I'm like,
oh, God.
It's cool. Like, I get it. We're flying. Like, that's awesome that we can fly somewhere. Still.
Also, people just get excited about free stuff.
Yeah. Free Diet Coke. So anyway, a real sponsor would be Kodiak Cakes. They hooked us up.
They did, and we had waffles for breakfast.
I had chocolate. You had.
I had their superfoods one.
You know what? I love Kodiak cakes, but that superfood one,
Do you know what? If you add protein powder to it,
I saw you added some strength weight.
it's delicious. Yeah, I did. I added
Well, you're basically
half a scoop of complete vanilla.
that's because you're
so
basically just you're taking this healthier. I don't want to say healthier, but it's
Well, it's bland.
Yeah, it's bland. It's bland and bitter.
It is actually kind of. It's a bit like buckwheat.
Yeah, that's why I like the chocolate.
I kind of like that.
Chocolate's the best. I like the peanut butter second, but chocolate.
You actually haven't had the buttermilk yet, though.
Does it taste just like a buttermilk flavored
It's
pancake?
really good. Yeah.
Okay, I'll try that.
And that pack they just sent us has the extra protein in it.
Thanks for making it for me.
You're welcome.
I appreciate it.
You're welcome, baby.
Who do you want to give a shout out to this week? I know you were talking about this girl. I've known her for a long time, actually.
Well, do your shout out first, no?
Oh, I don't need to give a shout out. Who's yours?
All right. Well, my shout out was off the back of your post yesterday, babe, which I loved.
You loved it? What did you love about it?
About non-scale victories. I mean, I thought it was a good question, but I did not expect the number of responses in the tribe that we got. I mean, we've had 27 comments on this
did.
thread.
You know what? The tribe has spoken. No, but if we post a question that's thought provoking and gets the tribe just kind of thinking about how far they've come and their success, they do well.
It's incredible. And this list, if you haven't seen it, you need to go into the tribe and have a look at this thread. You can search in the discussion for non-scale victory. And pull up this thread. I seriously want to frame it and put it on a wall. Because
don't do that.
The list of responses is just, it's inspiring, and it makes what we do so worthwhile, I feel.
Well, it was great. And I actually had a conversation with someone that morning. She's like, you posted a similar question a while ago. I was like, I don't remember doing that if I did, but a question like that never gets old because there's always something new.
Yeah.
If you would have asked me what a great non-scale victory a month ago, I might have said, how I looked in the mirror. And yesterday I might have said that I had 166 pounds on that complex we did,
Yeah, that brutal complex.
That was terrible. I'm sore today.
I failed miserably at.
You were in your head, and
I wasn't in my head. I just could not get it. Do you know what? I was having this major mental block with the push press.
Yeah, but
I kept wanting to push jerk.
Well, because it's easier, but instead of...
I just could not get my body to not push jerk.
But then you would quit on the set.
No, well, of course, because I failed the set.
Yeah, but what's failing? You do a push jerk instead of a push press and give up, or just keep moving through it?
Not give up. I then would wait, rest, and then try it again.
All I know
is... My brain just kept doing push jerk the whole time.
I was walking around, when I'm in a class, I cheer everybody on, and Olivia said to me, why aren't you cheering Roz on? I said, because she yells at me.
I didn't yell at you.
No one else yells at me when I coach them except for you. So I was like, you know what? She's in her own head. I got to give her some space over there. But I felt bad because I was helping everybody else. I was having a good time with my partner, Max. And you were just all messed up back there.
Okay, well. I didn't feel that way about it. Like, I was just...
At one point, you stopped, dropped the bar, and just screamed the F word.
No, I actually did it whilst I did the movement because I was so frustrated. Like I said to you, I could not stop my body from push jerking.
Yeah.
When I was supposed to push.
Yeah, but it's natural. Your body's a natural.
Yeah, I know,
movement.
but it was like that automatic behavior is so frustrating sometimes. I'm sure people out there can relate with in other aspects of their life. Like, how do you stop that automatic behavior from happening?
Yeah, I mean, that's a lot of what we were going to discuss today.
It really is.
But let's give your shout out.
I know. We digress.
You digress.
I did?
Maybe I did.
Good job, it's a podcast. We can play it back and find out.
Comment who digressed.
So, my shout out. Shira?
Shira.
I want to say her name as Chiara.
You can say it however you want. It's wrong.
I feel like she might be Italian. But anyway. Shira.
No.
Astia.
Her name ends in a B.
Yeah.
Usually Italians
But
end in a vowel.
true that.
I think she's Irish, actually.
Shara, let us know. Where are you from?
Well, she lives in Albany.
Oh,
She
she
used
does?
to go to the gym.
Oh,
That's
so
how
you
I know
her.
Yeah, I know her. She's friends with Jenny Mack, our resident psychologist.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, she's been around for a while, but this is definitely the best I've ever seen her.
Awesome. Well, I loved her comment, just really resonated, and I think it's great to have that change in your mindset with flexible eating. And she said, I don't hate myself for eating foods I love. I no longer tell myself I'm weak and pathetic and deserve to be fat because I have a craving for ice cream or pizza. I just fit it into my day and feel good about it. And I think that's beautiful.
That's what it's all about.
It really is. Like that, trying to remove that negative self-talk and those negative stories that we tell ourselves is a huge part of our overall success with this program and just in life generally.
That's really great, Shara.
Awesome.
And I know her well, and I could see that. Like, she definitely gets down on herself, as we all do.
Yeah, like
But,
me yesterday.
Yeah, you were a hot mess.
I called myself a mother-ass.
That's what you said.
That's what I said.
And then at one point you just left the class and started squatting.
Because I'd spent 25 minutes and 10 or 15 minutes of that was on the same weight and I couldn't get it.
Well,
so I think knowing when to call it quits is fine.
I'll give you that.
I don't think that's quitting. Like, why keep pushing?
No, it's not quitting.
It's not working. You're not doing any better. Why keep going?
Yeah, no, sometimes it's like, all right, I did my best.
Time to move on to something different.
Right, time to move on. We've all been there in relationships. Time to move on. And in podcasts. Time to move on. I want to talk about a couple of new things we got going on the site.
Cool.
First of all, we released a headband.
Oh my God. I can't wait for our headbands to come
They should be here any day. I've got the tracking number for hours because they messed up our order. But the ones that people have ordered are shipping out, but then ours came in separate. But yes, the headbands have been a big hit so far.
Cool.
We have a new bundle. The bride-to-be bundle, is that what we're calling it?
Yeah, it should be live today.
Oh, there it is, isn't it?
Oh, yeah.
The bride-to-be bundle. So, you and I hopefully are still going to get married in November.
That's debatable. We'll see how the rest of this podcast goes.
And, like you, first of all, it's the bride-to-be bundle. It can be used for husbands.
It can be, yeah.
Husband-to-be. But
hey,
really,
if you're a bride-to-be, why not buy it and do it with your hubby-to-be?
Super similar to our Just Get Me Started bundle in the fact that you get that beginner video, you get a double check, you get a call, but with this you also get our beach body guide.
Yeah.
So, your beach body guide, I should say. But if you're looking to look, feel, perform your best at your wedding.
Depending what you're going to do at your wedding. I mean, if you've got some kind of flash dance or whatnot choreographed into your wedding dance, maybe?
I'm more concerned with what's going on after the wedding.
Oh, all right.
They say most couples don't have sex on their wedding night.
They don't consummate the marriage?
Well, because you're just tired, you're busy, you have after parties, etc.
I think isn't it usually because they're so, you're so drunk? You just pass out?
I don't think we'll be. That could be. So we're going to...
I don't think we will be. I'm just saying that most couples, they've had a lot of champagne.
I want to talk dirty for a second. So this is... let's make this all right.
If any children are listening...
All you got to do is say earmuffs.
Yeah, earmuffs.
Let's maybe have a go during the party.
Have a go at what? Oh! So then they're like, the bride and groom must be having more pictures taken somewhere.
Yeah. First of all, we both know it won't take very long. We'll just sneak away 20 to 30 seconds.
I'm down with that.
All right, cool. You heard it here. You heard it here.
If we disappear in the middle of our wedding...
Don't come looking for us.
Yeah.
Don't come looking.
We're not having photos.
So anyway, bride-to-be bundles live. We got our headband. And then something really cool that's coming. It's not out yet.
Next week.
Well, first of all, next week on Monday we have the book coming.
The launch?
The pre-order.
Pre-order.
Yeah. of the definitive guide to flexible eating that I've been working on
How
forever.
exciting is that? Babe, like,
You know
how do
what-
you feel about this? Because this has literally been coming for how long? A year? Longer?
I started talking. I mean, I've known James for quite some time, but when I decided to write the book and I reached out to him, the goal was originally to launch it last January of 2016.
Wow.
So we've been working on this for nearly 2 years.
Oh my
Because we worked on it for like 8 months, and then I was giving a seminar in New Jersey, and James came, and at that seminar was really what I would consider the turning point of Own Your Eating and just my mentality of flexible eating, and that it became much about the psychology.
Mm-hmm.
Up until then, it was very data-driven and scientific. And that was at a night where this lady was just hounding me with questions about health and nutrition and paleo. And I was like, you have lost touch with reality if you think people are going to eat all this broccoli.
Yeah.
Like, that was it. Like, she was so,
She was...
on the paleo bandwagon and
Right.
blinded and narrow-minded that she couldn't see anything else.
Right.
And there was a woman there who was struggling, and this lady was arguing with me that I was telling her it's okay to eat donuts.
Mm-hmm.
And that was a big turning point, because I was like, you don't get it. Like, if I don't let her eat donuts, she's going to eat donuts.
Mm-hmm.
It's a matter of how she feels after and what that does for her psyche and how long it takes her to rebound. And James was there, and James was like, you realize what just happened? And I was like, what? That crazy lady was a biatch? And he was like, no. And we like sat down that night for like 3 hours, and we're just like, we're in New Jersey at my friend Miguel's box, CrossFit Paradise, and we just kind of like totally revamped it. So we got to the drawing board again, redid it, and then
cool.
and then with every next iteration of the book, it was more editing, adding Howie to a testimonial, a before after picture, changing different things. So it just got to the point where we were like, okay, we need to dial it in, and we have, and the cover changed, everything changed. So I'm super excited. It's surreal to finally be able, and then now my parents can be proud of me finally.
I do love that. It's like every time we see them, it's like, so where's the book? When's it coming?
They're like, hey,
it's like, forget the fact that we just launched this huge online business.
I was talking to somebody yesterday. I was talking to Matt at the box, and I was like, my parents don't understand what we do, in the fact that they think we are like not doing anything because we don't have a physical product.
Mm-hmm.
And so once the book is launched, I think once they have it in hand, they'll be like, oh, okay, they have a job.
Right.
So that's always like, when are you going to get a job? Remember that email my stepmother sent where she's like,
I know.
After the road trip
like,
and you guys are ready to get a job.
I lay awake at night worrying about what you'll do.
Yeah.
It's like, okay.
Maybe you can go to one of the local high schools and teach phys ed. I'm like, they would love to have you. You'll be an author. That's what I'm like, all right. I texted my sister. I was like, she doesn't even know who I am. Like, if she thinks I'm going to get a real job.
So
what?
Very exciting then that the book is coming for pre-order on Monday.
But then the other cool product we have, we're launching products left and right. So we don't always put it out there. Yeah. So be sure to be checking back on the site. We put some stuff in the tribe. Obviously, if you're not in the tribe and you're listening to this, Own Your Eating Tribe on Facebook. Yes. But we're constantly just putting products out. Some of them we make a big to-do about, your workout guide, the book, etc. But some we're just putting on in the back end. And one thing that we're launching as well should be any moment.
Yeah, it may be today. It could be over the weekend. We'll see. But the mantra bands.
The mantra band. Is it mantra?
I say mantra.
You say mantra, I say mantra?
Yeah. Yeah.
What are you elbowing me?
You're reading in the middle of a podcast. What are you doing?
Because we got a notification. I'm sorry. All right. I'm sorry. I like to multitask. So anyway.
I get that.
You were talking.
I know. We were having a conversation.
Okay. The mantra bands.
The mantra
come out.
bands.
Give me the premise of these mantra bands. I got to stand up. I'm fucking, oops. I'm tight from yesterday's complex.
Well, you did good. You PR'd, right?
I think so. I think it was PR. So anyway, the mantra bands, what's cool about them, as you know, we both subscribe to the RAS system, Reticular Activating System.
Yeah, I think maybe a lot of people don't know what that is, though.
Well, if you don't know what that is, do you want to dive into it now? We have a video with me talking about it.
Yeah, let's talk about it, though.
You want to talk about that as well?
I think so, right?
I don't know. I'm asking. Okay, let's talk about it.
Well, I think so.
Let me hear you talk about it, because the video is me. So maybe people want to hear a smarter English version of it.
Well, I was going to ask you some questions about it, because...
All right, ask me a question.
So for people out there who don't know what the reticular activating system is, and I didn't have a clue what it was when I first looked it up, it's part of your brain. And it's this, basically, you want to think of it as like a little filtering system.
Yeah, so think about, you ever have a Brita filter for water?
Yeah, exactly. That's exactly what I thought of.
So, you want to fill up this big pitcher, and that big pitcher is your brain with water. But the water that's going into the entire pitcher goes through a filter. So all that water that's coming out of the faucet is like everything that's being thrown at you in the world. From things in your peripheral in your house to things people are talking about. You have the radio on in your car, colors you see.
Sounds.
You see how fast I'm talking?
Yeah.
That's how many things are coming at you all the time. And your brain has a little filter called the Reticular Activating System, like the filter in a Brita or any water filtration system that filters those things out. So some things make it through to the brain, but your brain catches on to a lot of these things, and you'll focus on them. But you'll focus on the things that you see and think about the most. So in other words, if your water's coming through and it's highly concentrated in chlorine, and chlorine is what is getting caught in the system the most, you'll focus on that. So that could be anything that's coming at you all the time, and it's what you think about. So for example, let's use it, because we get a lot of people, obviously, who are talking about weight. So your brain, and you're always thinking about the fact that you're struggling to lose weight. You can't lose weight. I won't lose weight. My body won't lose weight. The scale's not moving. My clothes don't fit. Well, what's going to happen?
I'm going to take a guess. My brain is going to think I can't lose weight, and that's what's going to happen.
Correct.
Like my brain is going to do whatever it has in its power to make that come true.
Here's a great one. You ever have that buddy or colleague, friend, boyfriend, husband that says, I'm just always late?
Yeah.
So what happens? Are they always late?
Yes.
Well, what comes first? Are they always late because they just happen to be late, or are they always late because they think they're always going to be late?
I don't know. Why are they always?
It's because of that's what they tell themselves. It's the story you tell yourself. So the reticular activating system, we can look at it from all these negative things, but at the same time, we have the opportunity to look at it from this positive spin.
So in a way, basically, the RAS, this system, kind of programs your life based on what you're filtering through.
Absolutely. We are bombarded all day with so many things, and it's an opportunity to refocus and to shift your thought process. So, one way of doing it is to have notes, like sticky notes throughout the house,
Visual
or
cues, yeah.
A screensaver on your computer, or if you sit at a desk. And it doesn't have to be glaring right in front of you, because all of these things are coming at you. I mean, of 2 million things coming at you at any given moment, it's not obviously right in your face.
Yeah, it's subconscious.
Right, like I'm looking at you right now. But if I were to just look around the room, I see Kodiak cakes, I see a foam roller, I see, a gallon of water, I see a toaster, a refrigerator, a TV, a crazy dog, all those things, but they're all there. I'm filtering them out. So whether it's sticky notes just well placed around, or a mantra bracelet like we have now, which will have 2 different mantras, 2 different options. What are they?
So we have trust the process, which is a message that is really put out in the tribe a lot. We see a lot of our followers using that mantra. So we thought that would be a great one to have on one of our mantra bands. And then the other one is create change you believe in.
Right. So both of those, trust the process is something that where it's like, okay, when you're struggling, when something's going on, just remember, trust the process. And the more often you see that, the more often you think about it and believe it, the more likely it is to be true.
And the more likely you are to stay on track, keep going, persevering. And I think that's part of, for me, why I love the concept of the mantra brands and why we came up with this idea is that
you came up with it. It's a great idea.
A struggle. No, I don't think I ever. These ideas that we come up with, I feel like they never come up on like individually. We always kind of
collaborative.
Exactly.
I agree. But we brainstorm. Like usually one of us kind of like this is something that you would have come up with, and then we brainstorm it out together.
Yeah, I'll be like you say trust the process, and then I'm like, wouldn't it be cool if we had a bracelet that reminded us to do that? And then it's like, hey, the mantra band is born.
And and one thing that we both have the same tattoos, all for good.
Yeah.
And I know for me, there are definitely times I'm frustrated, annoyed, something's going on, and I look at that and it reminds me.
Yeah.
So it doesn't always work immediately. It's not always like, hey, I have an all for good tattoo, so no matter what happens in my life, I remember that it's all for good. Mm. When you were in the middle of your sets yesterday, freaking out, I doubt in your mind, you're like, hey, it's all for good. But when you look at your wrist, it reminds you that it is. And to me, it obviously reminds me more than just all for good. It reminds me of you and all the positive things I have in my life. So it goes beyond that. And the mantra bracelet can take on that life of its own for these people.
Yeah. And I think as many of us know who have been on diets before, being on a diet is truly, truly difficult and challenging because eventually it's just not sustainable. But even when you're doing something like our program, like flexible eating, even that can become difficult and challenging at times just because simply staying the course and maintaining that in itself is hard. And to maintain your level of motivation and enthusiasm for that lifestyle, it's easy for that to kind of wane now and then. There's so many different demands and competing challenges on your time and on your life. It's hectic. So if things are just staying the same, it's very difficult to maintain that level of enthusiasm and motivation for doing what you're doing. And I think that was part of the concept behind the mantra band too, is that this will serve as some motivation and some inspiration, remind you of things like the tribe. And actually, coming back to this experience I had yesterday at the gym, no, at the time I wasn't thinking all for good, but yeah, I got home later, had dinner, I read through those messages, that thread on Facebook in the tribe about non-scale victories, and it got me thinking about my victories in the gym. And hey, I didn't hit that clean complex at 80 pounds like I wanted to, but I hit it at 75 pounds, which is, I held onto that bar for 12. I did a high hang clean, squat clean at 75 pounds, something I could not have done a year ago, like even for one rep, because I don't have great mobility in the bottom of my squat, et cetera, et cetera. So being aware of these victories that we do have is challenging sometimes, and it's great to have these reminders to help us reframe anything that's negative into a positive light.
Absolutely, and this is not meant to be a 30-minute infomercial on the mantra band.
No.
But, whether or not you purchase a mantra band for us or whether you use the RAS system and simply put some sticky notes, watch the video that we have out about it. We'll put the link, in this podcast as well. And use it. Like I said, I'll give you another example. I think sometimes because people see us and they think we got our shit together, which couldn't be further from the truth at times. But, the other night, I was up for hours, tossing and turning. We're leaving our house for 6 months. We're traveling on the road with a dog that pants all the time. She shits in her sleep. We got Mo, who just is attention seeking,
psycho.
a 70 square foot camper that we've never seen before, yet we've bought. I'm out shopping for a new car yesterday because I've decided the Prius probably can't tow this thing. Buying things with money we don't have allocated for it. And it would have been very easy to be like, we're not doing this. Very easy to be like, this is too stressful. And then for me, I quickly try to go to all for good. And it's, there's lots of ways you can attack that. To me, all for good represents, I'm going to be on the road with the person I love the most and the animals I love the most.
Even the psychotic ones.
I love her even,
Are you talking about me or Marley?
TBD, to be determined. And in addition, meeting people I've never met that we've had an influence on. Seeing parts of the country, potentially world, that I've never seen before. Changing people's lives, growing things. And, when you stop and you refocus, shift, it's a paradigm shift in your brain, it really becomes, your life becomes better. And to me, that's what it represents. And hopefully that mantra bracelet or the RAS system can help you with that. So whether it's simply about weight loss, changing the way you feel about when your wife does something, your husband. Mm-hmm. Sometimes when you talk to me a certain way, it sets me off. And no different to you, right?
Yeah.
But when you stop and think, okay, she talks to me that way, but it's the person you love, and she may talk to me that way, but I get to, enjoy the other beautiful, positive things. It changes your mindset.
Absolutely.
I know I'm a little off topic, off tangent, which is how we do. But point is,
I think everyone can relate to exactly what you're saying right now. And I like how this ties in not with just motivation and sustaining the progress that you're making, but it ties in with that really important element of stress and managing your stress and how we go about doing that. And it's challenging. And I think having things and activating your reticular activating system is a way of doing that. And, whether that's with visual cue cards or sticky notes, or whether that's with some kind of morning routine or ritual. I was listening to Tony Robbins and Tim Ferriss, one of your faves, discuss morning rituals and priming and how you get yourself into your body into this physiological state that it's ready to deal with the day and everything that life has going on with it. And I think that's a really important aspect to keeping everything sustainable and to keeping a positive mindset is starting off your day in a way that is going to have this positive effect on you. And personally, I really like, and I know we've fallen off track with this a little bit, but I really like starting the day with our intention cards and doing 5 minutes of just thinking about what we're grateful for.
So let's bring it back.
Yeah, I've started doing it.
We've done bits and pieces of it.
Yeah.
I mean, you do your intention cards every day. Side note, we've made an app.
I know, but that's not coming soon.
No.
It is?
My app.
Oh.
It's out.
Oh, okay.
It's in the App Store.
I didn't know that.
What do you mean you didn't know
Dave,
that?
I didn't know that. How did I miss that?
You didn't? Yeah.
I thought you said the app wasn't coming for another few months.
No, that's the Own Your Eating app.
Oh.
No, we're going to have an Own Your Eating app down the road. We're working on it. It's kind of in the works, but I've kind of had to shift focus.
Spoiler alert.
But
sorry.
If you go to the App Store and you search Limitless 1.0,
yeah,
that's an app I created.
It's ready, though.
It's in the App Store.
I thought you were still talking with India.
Yeah, I mean, I'm constantly trying to fine-tune it.
Okay.
But it's available for free in the App Store.
Awesome. Go check it out.
If you're interested in getting intention cards like we do, you can get them for free in the App Store. Limitless 1.0.
Courtesy of the wonderful Jason Ackerman.
Correct. But I saw you did a grateful note that I had to fill out. We sat down, we had a 5-minute meeting this morning. We do a lot.
We do a lot, but you know what? Something that really stood out to me.
But I want to meditate with you more.
Oh, we'll figure out our priming
You got it.
ritual for the morning. Maybe it can involve a little more than meditation.
Ooh. I'll wake up early for that.
Well, that's the kind of meditation that maybe works best for us. But in that podcast that I was just referring to, I think Tony Robbins actually says if you don't have 10 minutes in the morning to think about what you're grateful for or to do this priming ritual, that whatever works for you, then you don't have a life. And I agree. Like, otherwise, like 100%, what are you doing this for? You cannot just grind and task yourself with life's daily demands and not spend 10 minutes of your day truly just thinking about what you are grateful for.
That's like the old Buddhist expression. If you don't have 5 minutes to meditate, take an hour.
Yeah, exactly.
I love it. All right. Well, if these people don't have 5 minutes to show they certainly don't have.
Let's cut this short because normally we go to 45 minutes. We're on 36.
The one thing I wanted to do before we get off is we've completely forgotten to give a major shout out.
Who did we forget?
Your girl Stacy.
Oh my God! Yes.
So let's not belabor it. Go to ownyoureating.com/blog / Is it / or backslash?
Yeah, I was listening to somebody else do this on their podcast, and they just said //
If you're not sure, just go to ownyoureating.com, click on the blog link, go to Tuesday, Transformation Tuesday.
Yeah.
Man, that girl Stacy. Sometimes the greatest transformations aren't about weight loss, but about reshifting your brain. And, really this whole episode, from Shira to the mantra bracelets to
talking about reticular activating system,
Stacey.
gratitude. This is all about mindset, people.
This is what this podcast is.
Yeah.
And Stacey has changed her mindset. We couldn't be more proud of her.
Yeah.
I know you have a great relationship with her. You communicate with her, but she was awesome. Awesome to see. Just that change in her body, that picture on the left where she clearly was underfed, unhealthy, mentally, physically, emotionally, to how happy she looks in that picture on the right.
It's incredible.
That's what we do.
I think that's how we almost connected in the first place on Facebook. I just noticed her posts, and they always seem so warm and inviting, and you got that sense of a beautiful personality coming out. So.
I love it. Let's wrap it up.
Yeah.
Great. I'm excited. I'm leaving this podcast fired up. I gotta talk to you offline when we're done. I think we need to.
Are we meditating?
No. I gotta go meet with Matt. But we're gonna talk about how we're gonna set up our mornings every day.
Yeah, I like it.
All right, babe. I love you.
I love you too.
I'm excited for what we discussed is gonna happen on the wedding day, and B, the type of meditation we're talking about every morning, and C, that we're bringing that to everybody. I think this is a great podcast. I hope everybody leaves here feeling excited, and we're excited.
Yeah.
And happy to share it with you.
Take these 5 minutes extra that we're giving you guys.
Challenge. Right now. Yeah.
Go and spend 5 minutes. Write a list. What are you grateful for?
I love it.
Share it in the tribe if you want. I shared my note on our Insta story this morning.
Okay, so podcast ends. Peace out.
Take a picture.
Take a piece of paper. Write it down.
Yeah.
Type it out. Whatever you need. Share it in the tribe. 5 things you're grateful for.
Yeah, I love it.
I love it, guys. My number one, we're grateful for you guys. We're grateful for the tribe. All right. Peace out, guys.
Bye.